Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis, me once again. Welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw. This time is going to be on The Watchers. Now, this movie follows Mina, or Mina, a 28-year-old artist played by Dakota Fanning, who gets stranded in an expansive, untouched forest in Western Ireland. When Mina finds shelter, she unknowingly becomes trapped alongside three strangers that are watched and stalked by mysterious creatures each night. Now, I know, this movie is 2 weeks old. I am so late on it, but honestly, the fact that not many people are talking about it, and yes, not many people talked about The Strangers Chapter 1, and I went to go see that. But, I had more important things to do, and no, I'm not talking about the cooking videos I made, because, those aren't really important. They're just something that I did for fun, but I'm just gonna be completely honest. I'm only reviewing this movie because I think I've kind of been lacking in movie reviews for the past few weeks, as all I've been doing is cooking videos, and I've only been seeing big release movies, and this is supposed to be a big release movie, but not many people are talking about it. But yeah, that's pretty much why I saw the movie, and I honestly wasn't really going to review it, but I figured you guys do deserve some more movie reviews, so yeah, just in case. So yeah, and for this film, I honestly thought it was pretty forgettable. Now, this movie is from the director of, well, actually, it's the directorial debut, I believe, for M. Night Shyamalan's daughter. So it's nice to know that there are some people in Shyamalan's family that are going to be starting to do more family business in terms of movie making, but, that's kind of good, but also kind of bad, because when it comes to Shyamalan properties, they're either hit or very miss. And but they can be entertaining in a goofy way, and I feel like the closest thing he's gotten to that in terms of recently is Old. Knock at the Cabin was a bit more serious, but I felt like it was a lot more subtle and actually had some much stronger performances, and I all around thought it was pretty decent for the most part. For this film, I could respect the fact that it's M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, who isn't really fully familiar with filmmaking, and it definitely has that M. Night Shyamalan feel. I can't really say that's a good thing, though, but yeah, I can say this. It has a strong premise, definitely, though it has some very familiar properties, kind of like something like Signs, or mixed with a little bit of 10 Cloverfield Lane. But I don't really know how to put it, because I don't really have a whole lot to say, because a few hours after seeing the movie, I often kind of forgot what happened. I do know that there are multiple different characters that are trapped in with Dakota Fanning, but it mostly focuses on her, with her past involving, her sister. And, it's something that they try to make very strong, but it just came off as kind of weak, because, while I like Dakota Fanning, and she does try her best with her performance, but all around, she's the one that I feel like they focus on the most. The other characters are either, just generic, or just don't really have a whole lot of things to say in the film. I mean, they do. It's just, with a premise like this, you would think it would be very strong, but the problem is they throw a lot of exposition in your face, like not even halfway through the movie, and it just kind of ruins the overall tone. Now, the movie looks nice, and when the movie opens up, it opens up rather strongly, and I feel like it could have gone into a much better direction had it, managed to earn that build-up. And while there are some elements that are, I wouldn't necessarily say extremely disturbing, there are some elements that do try to make it feel more like it's a bit more creepy than it should be. And they do try their best with how these creatures known as the Watchers look, but they often do kind of look silly. And in terms of, being I guess I can say it's a Shyamalan film, just not an M. Night Shyamalan film. Just, I don't really know the best way to describe this, but it's nice that, this director is taking inspiration from her father, but I feel like it's kind of for the wrong reasons, because back then, Shyamalan was a mastermind when it came to his films when he started his career, but then just came off sillier. I wish she could have gone more for, that tone rather than the tone he's going for nowadays, as there are some pretty silly moments, but not as silly as something like The Happening or Lady in the Water, and not as memorably stupid as those, as I feel like it is a tad bit more serious. I mean, Shyamalan definitely did, or M. Night Shyamalan did try more serious with his other films that weren't supposed to be super silly, but ended up being super silly. And honestly, the movie could have been very short because once it got like to the hour and 10 minute mark, you would have sworn that everything would have wrapped up and the movie would have just ended because it feels like it would have ended during that much shorter runtime. But it doesn't. It continues, and it's honestly something I expected because a movie cannot be that short anymore because this isn't like the 60s or anything like that, and it really doesn't earn it in terms of how it ends. Like, I mean, the ending wasn't bad. It's a little more bittersweet, but I don't really want to go more into spoilers just in case you are interested in checking this one out. And while I am being quite negative on the film, I can't really say it's a bad film because actors, they try their best and it has a good premise, the tone is there, but I feel like with the writing, it just feels very off. They could have gotten much better writers for the film. But in the end, guys, The Watchers, well, it has a good tone and the premise is pretty strong. By the end of it, it's just something that I'm just not really going to remember all that much. I respect the director for trying her best and following in her father's footsteps, but I wish it could have gone for more of the smart, strong Shyamalan rather than the goofy Shyamalan. But hey, I can say it is roughly better than something like The Happening or Lady in the Water in terms of trying, actually trying to be more serious, but it's not as entertaining as those films in terms of their silliness. I feel like it should have gone either two ways. Either make it serious and memorable, or make it goofy and silly and just entertaining in the worst way. But I feel like it's trying to do a little bit of a mixture of both. It tries to be subtle, and I respect it for trying to have a good tone, but with all the exposition thrown into your face and just explaining things way too early, it just made for kind of a dull time at the movies. And I didn't hate it. It has its fair share of moments, and hey, there was one character that I thought would have been a lot more memorable had she had more, like, I don't know how to put it, had she not explained everything in your face and been a bit more wise. So yeah, all in all, The Watchers is something that I did watch, but didn't remember too much after I was done watching it. I respect the director for trying. Maybe she can try a little bit better next time. But yeah, I know M. Night Shyamalan has another film coming out this year, so yeah, hopefully we'll see how that goes. I'm going to try my best to review more movies. I'm going to try seeing another movie this weekend. But then again, because I'll be playing the new Elden Ring DLC this weekend, that might prevent me from doing so. So don't get your hopes up. But yeah, I will have more. I promise. I'm never going to stop doing reviews, so don't worry about that. But anyways, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.